Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and first off, hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. It is November 29th, and I really haven't had a chance to make that many videos because I've been busy with a lot of stuff. And this is kind of in a different direction than I normally do my videos, but I've had so many people ask me this, and so I guess this will just be a talking head type of video. First off, if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So what's the question that everybody's been asking me? A lot of people are saying, AJ, how do you get into doing video production and all this other stuff that you're doing outside of church? Now, the first thing, and this is what I actually do when I talk to recruiting other people and joining the media ministry, is that yes, we do our stuff, we learn our skills to help improve the church and whatever we're doing, but at the same time, these are valuable skills. I mean, obviously, you're here watching this on YouTube. There are plenty of people here on YouTube, as well as other churches, that don't have access to people who are videographers and things like that. So they hire people like that. I actually have been busy this last couple of weeks working with about 3 different churches, handling their video aspects, video editing and some type of shooting or some type of production for the church. And it's really allowed me to step out and actually do that. So I guess the first thing for those who are asking, how do I get into this, is you have to study. You study and you practice. I've pretty much been doing video editing and stuff like that outside of the church and inside of the church since 2000. And because I've always wanted to do special effects and video ever since I was in high school. But when I was coming in high school, there was no clear direction in video game production, special effects, or anything like that. So I literally bought myself a camera and just started to play around with stuff. And I ended up finding Sony Vegas, and I would just record little stuff just to myself. Then I would record myself a choir rehearsal, and then sometimes it opened the door. At the time when I was at a church, I recorded interactions. I think we started with at the time, the church I was going to, I started with recording the First Lady's anniversary of the church. And I didn't know they wanted to make it into DVD, never knew nothing about it, and pretty much just hacked away at it. Stayed up about a couple of days and just kept working on it and dabbling here and there. And then I just kept doing it to where I got comfortable. I didn't say I was advanced. I just was above intermediate. But the interesting thing when you actually start working on these skills is you'll realize you don't need to be an expert for people to hire you. You literally just need to know more than what they do, because the thing that you know that you don't think is significant to somebody else. And that's kind of like where I started. Even when I stepped into my home church, I didn't know nothing about video, but I was the most technical person there. So they're like, when people really don't know a lot of stuff, when you say technical, they think everything is technical, so they just handed it to you. So at my church, I ended up getting handed all this other responsibility, and the same stuff that I did in the past, I just kept practicing and researching, studying, finding out how to put all this stuff together. I mean, I researched YouTube all day long on how to link cameras together and do all this other stuff. And I know I'm going off of left field, but I'm going back to how I started this video production. But I hope you get the reason why I'm saying this. I literally just kept practicing the things that I could, and I just kept working at it to where ultimately I developed a paper trail or a portfolio of work that I've done. Yeah, it might not have been great at the very beginning, but it's somewhere. And like I said, what you don't think is great to somebody else. So it just kept working and working, and then, but at the same time, I kept pushing myself to learn more. So the stuff that I was learning seemed so advanced to everybody else. But when I look at myself and the people that I'm studying, I don't feel I'm anywhere close to that. So I stay humble with myself, and I constantly stay in a place where I'm still trying to learn, but I'm willing to share what I do know of others. So it ended up getting to the point where I started making little videos. I was making videos of just the sermon. I was recording just the praise dancers at our church, choir rehearsal. I started doing that just for my own choir rehearsal for people who weren't there. I would send the video that I did of the choir. Then I started recording myself, recording each part. And then all those little things that I used to do added up and started building out my portfolio to where I got so used to recording church services. I had to run the media for a wedding that I was at our church. And I just went up to the couple and I noticed that they didn't have a videographer. And I just said, hey, do you mind if I record your wedding? I'll give you the wedding video for free with the request that I just have permission to record your wedding and to give me a rating on how I did. That was the first wedding I ever recorded. And they said yes. Took the same skills that I did with putting titles and everything like that. And then I put that into a wedding and recorded the whole thing. And the couple was very happy because they didn't have a video, and now they had a video for free. All they had to do was give a rating, and they were really happy with it. So I just would take opportunities wherever I could find them and try to apply the skills that I did. And if I didn't have the skills, I would still accept the task, but would study to learn what I needed to complete the task while the task was still due. And then that's my mindset when it comes to me doing any type of work, video for churches, for businesses outside of church. And then that stepped into the same thing of when somebody asked me to record a football game. I'm like, I'm not a sports person, but sure, I'll come and record. It's just like anything else. I point the camera at the action, hit record, and just keep it going. And then I bought Madden 2017 or something like that, and I just used to study how the camera was in that game as well as watch other sporting events, and I tried to mimic what I saw with my camera. And then to where now that's branched off into a completely different field of business that I do, that I use the same skill set that I do with doing this as well as doing church stuff. And then started messing with After Effects and graphics. Started using the same thing for wedding stuff, for sporting events. And the whole idea is I did all this stuff just to build up a portfolio that is so diverse that, again, I am nowhere close to, I personally don't feel that I'm ready to start recording music videos or anything like that, but any type of other event, I feel comfortable in what I'm doing. And now, honestly, the music video would be a push, which I think will be a good push for me to expand my portfolio even more. So I say all that to say that I got comfortable enough with doing different type of aspects of things to where I put myself out there, to where honestly I started with volunteering and asking friends and family and people at the church if they didn't have anybody, could I do it for free, only with the request of give me feedback, a review of what I did and the quality of what I did. And as more and more time went on, then I would be like, oh, I'll do it for $50. Oh, I'll do it for $100. Oh, I'll do it for $200. Oh, I'll do it for $500. Oh, I'll do this for $700. Just because by the time I was able to start asking for that amount, I have a proven track record. So as of right now, like I said, it's November 29th, 2019. I have done over 750 church videos, sermons, dance ministries, choirs, over 50 football games, basketball games. I mean, I just really built that out to where now if somebody had an issue, I can always point them back to my work. So with all that being said, what I've done recently is actually listed myself on Fiverr so that I can expand outside of what I've done here locally. I still would reach out to other people. I mean, again, I grew up in the church, so I have a lot of connections in church. So I honestly put myself out there. I would go to other folks and I would always share my stuff here on YouTube. I would post it on Facebook, made a website with my portfolio. That was the original AJayhomes.com, and then I've since changed that, but I still have other other things where people can go and actually see the type of work. And the fact that I've been sharing it so much, it kind of snowballed to where now in my sphere of the churches here in my city, people know me. So I'll now, instead of me having to ask people for work, people will call me to do things. So like that was kind of like the things I've been doing now. I was doing 2 jobs this week from Fiverr, from churches I've been working with for over 3 months with Fiverr. Then I have another church that just reached out to me that saw me on Fiverr, but they were able to see my history of all the work that I've done. Then I have 2 other videos that have been repeat customers. One is my brother-in-law's home church, and then it was another church that knew me from my brother-in-law's church, as well as I do video from at my church, and then other business owners that actually go to my church. It's when you build up a portfolio and you put yourself out there, yes, it's scary at first, and yeah, your work might look like crap, but the thing is, people will see the progress. I remember doing the video stuff at my church and people were very hesitant, but now it's at the point that people really look forward to, like, let me see what AJ's going to do this time, because they've seen my development. And believe it or not, there are more people cheering for your victory than for your downfall. And I really know that to be true, because I just know when I stepped out, a lot of people were trying to put fear in me, but then when I pushed through that, now I have more people behind me pushing me forward, encouraging me, congratulating me, telling me that they're proud of what I'm doing. So that's really where I started. So like I said, this is a little bit of a different video because I'm using everything right now to try and finish up a project similar to what I was telling you about with another church, to where they're doing stuff on TV now. So that's new for me. But I hope that answered your question. I guess you would call this a AJ's Answers. Maybe, what was this, episode 5, 6? I can't remember. But anyway, if you like this type of content, I appreciate a like. Consider subscribing and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. And if you have any questions, like I said before, I'm getting a lot of contact from everybody, which I really appreciate, but it's kind of hard for me to track everybody down. So please, if you have any questions, please send it to me at ajayhomes.com. That is the easiest way for me to get everybody's information, because when I'm jumping from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to my website to email, it's kind of hard, and I miss some people, and I don't want to miss y'all stuff. Oh, as well as the YouTube comments. So please, if you have any questions, you'll want to get in contact with me, let me know. As well as be on the lookout, I have a course that's going to be launching, a complete church live streaming 101 course from the very beginning, from what type of equipment do you need, internet, all the way through everything. And at the end of the whole thing, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to live stream. We're talking about upgrading from live streaming with your iPad or your phone and actually have a camera, a dedicated live streaming system, multi-cameras, all this stuff. It is a complete guide to tell you exactly what you need, or if you ever decide to hire somebody to do it, you'll have everything that you need so that somebody won't railroad you, and you'll know exactly what they're going to be installing so that no one can pull the wool over you and fool you when they try and install the stuff for you. So again, be on the lookout for it. It's going to be at ajayhomes.com/courses, but there's also a link in the description. You can pre-register for it. It is going to be dropping, I think, worst case, is going to be dropping January 1st, 2020, but it may come out earlier, so please go ahead and lock it in right now with the pre-order, the early registration, because it will not be at that price very long. I have been asked by my clients to not cheat myself in what I'm doing. Normally when I sit down with another church, it's around $250 an hour for a consultation with them, where we build out and design their whole system. But what I'm doing is bringing that to you. It's about 4 hours worth of video and other documentation, examples, again, everything that you need to get your church professionally live streaming. So be on the lookout for that. Again, this is AJ, and we will see you on the next video. Later.